to share with you a little bit about my weight loss journey. Many have asked me, what am I doing it, or what am I doing? How am I doing it, etc. So I'm kind of gonna do like a 3-part story, and it's kind of gonna be based off of this paper that I wrote for my science class. So this past semester I took the science class and they made you do a project, and I hate when they give projects where you get to pick your own topic. But I had just started like my new weight loss plan, and I was like, this is what I'm writing about. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of what I did. So first of all, I decided to do some research because I have a busy schedule and I can't work out at the gym. I got a free gym membership. I used to do the Pio tapes by Beachbody, but I lent them to my mom. And at the time I had over the summer I had a bum wrist, so I couldn't do the Pio. So when I was healed up and ready to get back on track, I had just kind of gotten into yoga, and then I just couldn't go. School started. I worked 4 days a week. I was in school 2 days a week. I just didn't have the time. Also, like at work, I'm very physical for 8 hours, but then when I'm at school, I'm sedentary for 8 hours. So it was finding your balance. I also knew the importance of, in any diet, you kind of want to do calories in, calories out. So trying to readjust how I ate and when I ate and the best methods, this is what I came up with. So first, I'm going to dive into intermittent fasting. I began intermittent fasting before I started keto, but it was a good transition. So what I did was I took a week and I was like, I'm going to eat salads for a week, which really didn't happen, but it kind of happened. With that, I changed when I ate. So intermittent fasting, there's a few different ways to do it. And I read a few different blogs and videos, and I kind of came up with my own. I decided to do like the 16-8 because with my schedule, most of my days outside of the home started in the afternoon. So like I would go to work either at noon, 1 or 2 o'clock, and I would go to the school at like 10. So, and then I wouldn't have class. I worked at the school too, so I wouldn't have class until like 1. So the easiest time frame for me to really work into a fast was the 16-8 plan. There's also a method called the 5-2. Excuse me. The 5-2 is where people fast for like 2 days a week. So they would Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday eat, fast Thursday, eat Friday, Saturday, fast all day Sunday. That wasn't for me. I chose a daily plan of 16-8 where I do not eat for 16 hours a day, but I do eat in an 8-hour window. So what I would do is at 8 p.m. at night, I would not eat after that. So if I was going to drink wine, actually, no, I couldn't have wine. I'll talk about that later. But if I was going to eat, then I would stop at 8 and I wouldn't eat again until 12 p.m. the next day. So in the mornings, it's like, what do you do? Well, you could have some beverages. So when it came to drinking, I had to switch from my beloved wine, because wine is made of a grape which has natural sugars and it counts as a carb. So for keto regulations, which I'll get to later, that was a no. But for keto, I went back to vodka. And I would do vodka and sparkling water. I could have that because it didn't spike my insulin. The whole thing that you want to avoid with your 16 hours where you're not eating is spiking your insulin. So you have to have things that have no sugar in them. So if I wanted to have an alcoholic beverage, I would drink like vodka and sparkling water. But the other options were coffee, and they were like green tea. I would do tea. Any tea is fine, but I would do green tea. So the green tea, like at night, if I got a little hungry, I would drink decaf green tea. And then in the morning, I would drink coffee. Also, I used to not be able to tolerate black coffee. I was the PSL, like white mocha, caramel macchiato girl. And I adjusted my coffee. Now I drink Americanos, and with the keto, you can use heavy cream. And then I was like, ooh, I can use sugar-free. So I actually, when I'm home and not going to Starbucks, let me show you what I use. I was on my lunch break one day and I went to Marshall's, and they have these sugar-free sweeteners. This one is brown sugar cinnamon. I also got vanilla. So yeah, anyway, I was reading the ingredients, but and I sometimes will put that in my coffee, and I will use, you can get heavy whipping cream instead of like regular creamer. Like you want to stay away from like fat-free things. But again, when I get into the keto portion of this, I'll dive in more. But back to the intermittent fasting. So yes, I would not eat until noon. What I also would do is if I worked at 1 or 2 o'clock, so I usually like catching public transportation, I tend to get to work 20 minutes early. So I would take my first meal with me to work and eat that right before I started work. So that would kind of get me through, you know, because it's so physical, it's harder to fast. Like when I work the morning shifts where I open at 6 a.m., I get hungrier faster because I'm starting my process earlier. So like my coffee I have at 6, and then it's like you got to push to 12 because you did everything. My extra physical work already happened. So I like burned a bunch of calories. But a lot of people who do these diets do like to do fasted workouts. Those who are able to work out, they try to work out before they eat. So it's kind of like me doing a fasted workout. I just can't eat like right after because it's part of the fast. And I don't want to alter it for those days because that's only 2 or 3 days out of the week. But then I'll throw off the rest of my week. So I push through it, and I just wait until I get like a break after 12 or at 12, and I eat a little something. But it works out great. I got to the point where I wasn't getting cravings. My hunger really, my body got used to it. Once I got through the first 2 weeks, it was like I didn't get hungry. I was kind of like, oh, okay, like sometimes I had to make myself eat because I wasn't hungry. And it was great. I kind of, on average, would eat 2 meals a day. I never measured portions. I would pack, like, depending on my work schedule. So if I knew I was working past 8 p.m., I'd pack an extra snack just in case I got hungrier, because I'm kind of put on a schedule of when I can eat. So I would be like, okay, if I can get like a 10-minute break at 8 o'clock, I would just eat something right then and call it a night. And I've messed around with it. Like say, I know I work at 2 p.m. the next day. I go eat a little bit later and still maintain my 16 hours of fasted time because, I'm flexible within an hour or 2. And there's just some days that I'm hungry. Like listening to your body is key. If I'm hungry and I'm fasting, but I'm hungry, and my body is like, girl, eat something, I'm going to eat something. I'm going to make it a healthier choice, but I'm not going to like deprive my body of what it needs. If it's telling me it needs something, I'm going to eat. So fasting has worked great for me. Even through the holidays when I wasn't doing the keto as well, I did not gain weight. I maintained my progress and kind of just plateaued because I fasted, no matter, even though I was eating whatever I wanted to eat. The fasting maintained my weight loss. So for me, fasting was great. It's not for everybody. Again, I think every diet you have to like think about yourself, but fasting works really well for me, and I'm getting back into it because I fell off a little bit, but I've been eating a lot of sugar. That too. I noticed the difference in eating sugars and carbs, the kind of cravings I have. Like, people are like, oh, I'm not going to make it. Once you, like, get that out your system, it's so easy. It's just the type of craving that I had when I ate a lot of carbs and sugars was unbearable cravings. And when I'm completely eating clean, it's like nothing. So that's something else to keep in mind. So this was part 1. Stay tuned for part 2.